What if I told you I got my hands on a bag that looks just as good in the office as it does as a weekend urban EDC or tech bag? That might be what I have right here in the NayoSmart Herman H2 half roll top bag. This is what I've been using as my office in a bag or my mobile office backpack for a few weeks now. What's going on, everybody? This is Lamar with MF and Research, and I think I did one thing wrong when we went through my tech EDC not too long ago. I didn't do a good job of showing you why I carry what I carry. I realized that when some of the comments popped up asking why I had so much stuff. No big deal. Thought I'd do that now, showing you my mobile office or my office in a backpack. But before we begin, just want to let you know that I've got on sunglasses today, obviously, because I irritated my eyes some kind of way and the light bothers my eyes a little bit. Nothing major, just a little time and it'll be just fine. So now let's talk about my mobile office in a backpack approach. Because when I go into the office, there's about 3 to 5 facilities I might have to go into in a given week. I need to have an office that's on the go. And also when I work from home, I tend to work in the garage. I tend to work upstairs. Sometimes when the weather's nice and I've got my allergy meds in my system, I like to work in the backyard. So because of that, I need a bag that has everything that I need as an office on the go in the bag. So the bag that I've been using is the Herman H2 half roll top backpack by NayoSmart. I'm probably going to mess that up once or twice, but it'll be in the description so you can find it pretty easily. So let's go over the specs on this guy. So looking at it, it's got different materials on it. So it's got an 840D Cordura, it's got nylon, it's got polyester, it's got vegan leather, it's got Hypalon, and it's got Fidlock hardware. The interior is polyester, and unlike the Sling, there's YKK zippers. What we talked about in the front is the magnetic Fidlock buckles right here. It fits up to a 16-inch laptop. NayoSmart does a great job on their website listing some of the popular laptops that will and won't fit in this backpack right here. So it's 23 to 25 liters. That's because of that roll top. You can adjust the roll down to give you that lower or that higher literage. It weighs about 1,280 grams. That's 2.82 pounds. It comes in at 18 by 12 by 7. The price is $240, but I've seen it as low as $190 quite a few times. So now let's go through the inside and the outside of this bag. All right, since I messed up on the top down, let's do this with the voiceover for the first time in a while. Starting with the front of the bag, we've got the strap to adjust the roll top with a nice strap keeper that's a little tight to get in and out of. And we've got the Fidlock buckle. So let's go over to the side and one of the water bottle pockets and take a look at that. So you'll notice there's a couple loops, but actually they're really small. The front and the back are open and the bottom one is sealed. So now going in, you've got just an empty pocket for your water bottle. And then on the other side, it's got a D-ring. You can put your keys or whatever you want to put externally there. And it mirrors that lashing on the top where the center is sealed. Notice the Hypalon on the bottom. They really market this one as putting your umbrella in this particular pocket, and those holes allow the water to drain off of it when you're using it. So now you've got a front with a little zipper pull and a little quick access compartment, so you don't have to go in the bag to get in this pocket and it's got a nice branded zipper pull on there, and the zipper's really smooth. Going in the back, we've got a quick access or a hidden compartment, more your security quick access. You can put your wallet and your keys and stuff like that. It's pretty deep and it's not lined or anything like that, but it's got a good zipper. And then you've got your synthetic grab handles and you've got padded straps that are pretty comfortable with a couple lash down points. And they've got the whole hidden pocket for you can put your AirPods or some keys or something like that there. And we've got a nice loop for your sunglasses. And then you've got the strap keepers. It's an embedded system, so it's kind of, you see it on Sling sometimes where there's no extra strap hanging. And then you've got your luggage pass through and then the padded back panel. And once you open the Fidlock buckle, you have another quick access compartment where you can get inside some of the bag right there. It's about the size of my hand as well, going in there, so you can put some stuff in there that you want quick access to, but you want it protected just a little bit. And then you've got the single zipper to go inside without having to go through the top. One thing to point out is that there are magnets to keep the bag together, and I really like that. And they're on both sides too, to just keep that profile and keep those tabs folded in. So once you go inside, this is just the main compartment. And then there's a couple pockets on the inside, trying to get a good view of that for you. So it's just a slip pocket and then two pin loop pockets. I really wasn't able to get a good view of that on the top down. And then the rest of it is just open. So now we'll zip that back up, and then we're gonna go to the laptop compartment and put that in there. So opening that up, there's two zippers, it's sealed zippers, and then going in there, you've got a nice laptop compartment that's padded with a nice furry lining, and then that's mirrored again in the tablet pocket as well. And then you've got two stretch mesh pockets with pull tabs on them to hold stuff in there, and then you've got a zipper pocket right there on the opposite side in the interior. So in going through there, you've also got a zipper when I'm not knocking the bag over. And what this part does is it allows you from going in the laptop compartment to work inside the bag or get something out of that main compartment. All right, so let's go through the loadout. We won't spend too much time on some of the tech stuff. If you want to see that in more detail, I covered that in the full tech EDC video, so take a look at that if you're interested in the tech that I carry along with the other stuff. Okay, we're back again. Lamar with the voiceovers again, going to show you how I actually use this bag day to day. Going in the front, because I needed some of this stuff real quick access, I just clipped my Alpaca Hub Pouch Pro on there. I'm going to show you, I changed it just a little bit. Yes, stuff is falling all over the place. The solution that I had didn't work, but because my Pun Cube wallet was so thin, I was able to fit that in there to hold my cards and stuff like that without having to pull them in and out. So I did like that. So if I can keep all this stuff together and out of the way, we'll keep moving on to the rest of the shoulder straps. I had my sunglasses on there. I really liked keeping them there because it reminded me to wear them for a change. And this is probably the bag where I used the Hero Clip the most, just because of the way it was configured. I often, in tight spaces, hung it from a desk and just used the bag that way right beside me. So now let's go into the side pocket. I had a couple flashlights in this particular pocket, no umbrella or anything like that, because you'll see why in a few minutes. I had one that I used a couple times to light up the room, and the other one I used when I drop something or using it just out and about to look at something a little bit closer. And another thing I did do, some of the times I used that compartment to hold my laptop stand. It's a larger stand, so it doesn't fit clean in there, but I was able to just put it in there, zip it up part of the way, and it was able to stay in there and it didn't fall at all. And the zipper stayed pretty much put. So now we're gonna go over to the other side of the bag real quick and take a look at what I had in that other water bottle pocket. Starting on that exterior, it was kind of thin, so what I did use was the Orbit Key hand sanitizer, just to give me that quick access hand sanitizer on the go. Inside, instead of a water bottle, had my coffee cup, hydro flask, coffee cup. It's 20 ounces and it fit in there pretty good. Going with that quick access, I just had my hygiene pouch in there, had all kind of wipes and Tide wipes, and you've seen stuff like that before. I'm actually going to adjust this pouch here in the near future, but for right now, this is what it is. And that's all I had in there. Now going into that quick access compartment, could put your phone here. I ended up putting just a bag of tissue in there and some paper towels and things like that. Going into the main compartment, here are the things that I have in here. Yes, I have a diffuser, helps set the mood, helps freshen the room sometimes depending on where I'm at. And I've got my rain jacket, one that I picked up online. I'll put a link in the description. And this is the Garage Built Gear Mighty Air pouch, I think this one is. And I just had my oils for the diffuser in here. So I had 3 or 4 just to freshen up the smell. And this one is energy, just when you get sleepy and later on in the day and it's too late for coffee, you could use something like this. So now going in, I had my Moleskine notebook just to take notes and things like that. We had my Bose headphones that we talked about in the tech video. And then next up, I had the Nutsack Commander, did a whole video on that. You can check that video out as well. And then going in there, I had, sometimes your bag gets tight sitting at the desk. I had a lacrosse ball. I usually keep a lacrosse ball in my bags if I'm on travel, or just as an EDC bag. I usually keep one of those guys in there. Usually if I'm sitting on like a Teams call or something, I'll usually run that on my back, close the door to the office. And then I think that's pretty much all I had in that main compartment. Closing that all back up because it just works better when you close that up. Going into the laptop compartment, it just opens up and I've got my keyboard that we talked about. I've got in that zipper compartment just the battery bank that I showed you before. And then I usually keep my Lockbee Quattro. Did a video on that as well. Take a look at that for more info on how I use that. And I also, on the other side, had my mouse, my Logitech MS Master 2. One day I'm going to upgrade. I think I'm actually probably going to upgrade pretty soon. But other than that, I keep my tablet in the tablet compartment. Really appreciate that the tablet compartment is fleece lined. And I do think that's all that I had in that compartment. Other than that, you see the work laptop. Nothing really special to bring out. It's just a work laptop, one of the big Dell laptops that's got a number pad as well. So first, let's talk about some of the things that I like. First off, the style. It's a really good looking bag, and I really appreciate that. The color, got the multicam black accents. I'm a sucker for multicam black, so it's a good looking bag. I really like it. There's a lot of external storage. The quick access on the front is really good. The internal storage as well is really nice. I like that you can really set this bag up and work out of this bag if you're in a tight space. I really like the comfort. I had no issues on this bag bothering my shoulders, even when it was loaded down pretty heavy. Very comfortable, sits on your back just fine. It's got very high quality components, the Hyperline, the YKK zippers, the Fidlock buckles, the Cordura. It seems like it's gonna hold up for a really long time. I really like the appeal of the Fidlock magnets on the front. The strap control is really good. It's self-contained, and I really appreciate that. All the loops on the front that you can hold your sunglasses, carabiners, and stuff like that on the front, I really appreciate that as well. The zip access to the other compartment, so you don't necessarily have to open the roll top. You can just open the laptop compartment. I really like that access. The tech padding is really nice. I really appreciate the padding for the laptop, and a lot of times in backpacks you don't get that tablet love on the padding as well, so I really appreciate that you get that as well. Again, the feel of the materials, it just feels like a premium bag. It really does. I do appreciate the weather resistance. I was fortunate or unfortunate, depending on how you want to look at it, able to get this bag caught in the rain, and I had no problems. And one thing I'll point out is the mesh pockets on the inside. If you go back and look at my issue with the pockets on their Sling, if they took these pockets and use those instead, I think that would fix some of the droopy pockets in the Sling. So go back and watch that video, look at these pockets, and see what I'm talking about. So now we can talk about some of the areas where I think this backpack can improve. First off, the ability to adjust the roll top is a little bit difficult. I found myself, once I got it to a good spot, I just left it there. You can get it out, but it's a bit of a pain getting it out and putting it back in. I wish that was a little easier to adjust. The side lash spots, they're really small, they're really minimal. I wish they would just open those up to give you a spot for a bigger carabiner or something like that. Right now it's pretty small, and they're these loops, but they're sealed. The side water bottle pockets, I wish they were just that much taller. That way I could fit a bigger water bottle in there, and I don't think it would take too much from the design or the internal space of the bag. You know, I'm debating on how I feel about the back panel. While I like the look of it, I like the channels, it was very comfortable, I don't know if I'd want that to be mesh instead. So right now the jury's still out. I'll let you guys decide how you feel about that. Didn't really get hot with it, but I'm still on the fence about it. I don't really think you need a shoulder strap pocket. Not really a big deal for me. Some people, there's no sternum strap. I don't really care about a sternum strap, but I thought I'd mention that to you guys out there. But with the loops, it's probably pretty easy to add one if you want to. Like the Sling, because there are so many pockets and all the organization, if you're not into that or not used to that, there's a bit of a learning curve for that. While I think the bag is overall subdued, the branding could tone down just a little bit for my taste. On the front of the roll top, I do appreciate the single zipper. I don't know how much that messes up with design or the functionality, but I wish there were two zippers coming down the side instead of just the one. I wish the interior, just like the Sling, was a little bit brighter. It's a gray. It can be just a brighter shade of gray just to make it easier to see stuff in there. If you're looking in a room that's not well lit, some of the places I was in, it wasn't very well lit. Luckily, I have a flashlight or two. It was kind of hard to see things at the bottom. Because of the way the luggage strap is built and that channel that it's built into, combined with the back pocket back there that's built into the back panel, depending on what happens, it tends to fold over if you have stuff in that back pocket and it gets a little floppy. Speaking of stuff getting floppy, just like the Sling, the internal pockets, depending on if you're going in and out of the bag, and like I said, I was working in and out of the bag, so I had the bag hung up on a hero clip and I'm putting stuff in, taking stuff out. I noticed that the laptop and the tablet compartments, they would get a little floppy and get a little smushed down, and you have to adjust it. I'd be interested to see what the bag looks like in a different color. maybe a gray or an alpine camo, something like that. Black is probably the color I would get anyway, but I'm just curious what it looked like in a different color. All right, I'm gonna bring the bag over here for a little bit because we need to have a talk about this one. I haven't done this in a while, since I think one of the large Sling videos where I said that bag manufacturers need to show the interior of the bag. But I think we need to have a little bit of a talk. So I've got the bag right here. Look at this pocket right here. This is a fantastic pocket. I really like this pocket. It really works very well. It's nice, quick access. The zipper is very easy to work, but the website mentions this. Stop forcing CCW in bags. Don't even call it that. I don't think this is a CCW pocket at all. It's a nice pocket. Like I said, it's a nice front quick access pocket. It works well for that. But this is the pocket that, looking at all the other pockets, this is the one that has to be considered the CCW. So let's talk and let me explain to everyone and NayoSmart, because I'm sure they're going to take a look at this video as well, why this doesn't work as a CCW bag. First of all, the zipper pull is a little bit small for quick access into the bag. It is bigger if you want that quick pull in a draw scenario. You want that zipper to be a little bit larger. Look at some of the stuff that Vertex does. The zipper pull is very smooth and very easy to pull. Because of that, and I mean, I like it using it as a quick access, but if I had my firearm in there, somebody could get to that really easy without a lot of work getting that zipper down. That zipper works fantastic, but because of that, it kind of works to its detriment in concealed carry. There's no hook and loop for your holster in there, so you can't really stage your firearm for a quick draw in there. The slinging it to the front for a quick draw gets a little awkward. Plus, if I'm gonna do off body carry, I'm not really gonna do it with a backpack. Not a fan of off body carry, but a sling or crossbody bag is way more efficient than a backpack. If you have to use this bag as a CCW backpack, only use it to conceal your firearm inside like a Vault-Tec safe or something when you're transporting it. Have no expectations of drawing this from this backpack whatsoever. Don't get me wrong, this pocket is awesome. It just does not work for CCW. And the way I would fix this issue is delete that from the website and we're good. Okay, my little baby rant is over. So that is the NayoSmart Herman H2 roll top bag. Not being harsh, there were some things that I think can be improved, but this is a great bag. I really enjoyed this bag. It definitely surprised me and was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. Again, never heard of NayoSmart before, and I am so glad I did. I'm probably going to pick something else up in the future because I think they do really good work. I think the pockets are great. I think the bags are great quality. I think they're priced at a good spot. And I think you get a lot of value for what you get. And I think in time, once people start to hear about NayoSmart, I think it's going to be right up there with like Air and Alpaca and some of those big players out there. I really like this bag, like I said. Had my nitpicks, sure, but I think it's still pretty good. As always, I'm Lamar with MF and Research. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'm out.